never felt tomorrow closing in this fast.
Okay, y'all, we have some exciting news today.
Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you.
Yeah, we're heading back down to Hilton Head, only this time it's for a different reason. It's not for a vacation. We're recording this on Thursday, June 18th, and we are heading down to Hilton Head, and we're actually meeting a realtor, and we are considering a move to Hilton Head. So, big news. This is something that is kind of something we've wanted to do for a while, and yet all of the sudden, kind of simultaneously.
We've been on vacation there with not wanting to come back. That's
Right.
a big thing. Your parents live close by.
Yeah, my parents we'd be a lot closer to my parents if we moved to Hilton Head. They don't live in Hilton Head, but we would still be a lot closer to them, and which would be helpful if we lived closer to them. So that's another reason that we're considering it. So we have not put our house on the market yet. We are hoping to do that maybe next week. It just kind of depends on how this goes. We're going to be looking at 5 houses. Is that right? We're going to look today at 5 houses, we think. It probably just kind of depends on how it goes. And I don't know that we're necessarily going to put an offer on anything today, but we'll definitely show you some peeks into some of the houses that we're looking at. So a couple of things about this. First of all, this would represent probably a pretty significant downsizing because it just costs a lot more money to live in Hilton Head than most other areas of South Carolina. So we are thinking, like right now, our house that we live in, it's actually pretty large. You may not see all the square footage when we do our vlogs and things, but that's because a good bit of the square footage is actually in our office, which is above the garage, which is where Gary works. And I'm honestly not sure that I've ever filmed. Oh, we have filmed in there a couple times, but not often. But anyway, our combined square footage is about 4,000 square feet, right?
Yeah, with the
And
office.
in the house, it's probably what, 3,500, 3,600?
Somewhere around 35.
Yeah, so 3,500. So we're thinking that we're going to have to drop from about the 4,000 total, 3,500 in the house, probably down to 2,100 to 2,500 square feet. So we kind of have some things to think about as far as like storage, minimizing stuff that we have, decluttering even further. So by the time you have seen this, you will have seen some decluttering projects on our channel. And because
All that'll make sense.
yeah, all that will make more sense because we were trying to get our house ready to put on the market. And then at the same time, we're not going to have as much storage when and if we move. So we are probably our biggest questions with all of this as far as square footage and house and everything is there a way to make it work for our business and also for homeschooling? And I feel like with homeschooling, it's not necessarily as big of a deal because although having a homeschool room is nice, it's definitely a perk. It's certainly, to me, not necessary. We've not always really had a homeschool room that served no other purpose than homeschool. We've been homeschooling now. This is our 9th year, so we've really only had a true homeschool room that really served no other purpose, like it wasn't also a dining room or whatever, for the past probably 3 years. So we definitely know how to do it without a homeschool room. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on with us. Katie, how are you feeling?
I feel pretty excited to see these houses.
Yeah, so I guess we'll tell you a few of the things we're looking for. Show you a peek inside some of these houses today. So one of the things that we really want to get, if we can, is a pool. We have had a pool before a couple of houses ago, and we really enjoyed it. And especially living somewhere like Hilton Head, I think we would really get a lot of use out of it. I think we'd really enjoy it. And ideally we want the pool to already be there so that we don't have to have the expense of the installation of a pool. So that's one of the things that we're looking at. It's not a deal breaker if it doesn't have a pool, but it definitely is a huge bonus if it does have a pool. And we're also looking for 3 bedrooms, at least 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. Ideally 4 bedrooms, but I'm not sure that that's going to work because of the square footage and the prices of the homes and things like that. But so we're looking for at least 3 bedrooms so that the girls can have their own rooms. And another bonus would be definite, like, separate place to at least have an office. And possibly also an area where we could store, like, homeschool, you know, books or bookshelf or something like that, even if we didn't have homeschool rooms. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Another thing we're kind of hopeful for is decent closet storage and pantry storage, because a lot of houses in Hilton Head, especially older houses, don't really have that. So that may be a bit of a challenge as well. So we're just going to kind of see what we can learn today, right? Also, the other thing about the house is we really don't mind a fixer-upper as long as it's not like a total gut job type of, you know, completely remodeling type of fixer-upper. So we definitely don't mind putting some finishing touches on it, changing out some things, but we don't want the whole house to need complete renovation. We also want to be close to the beach, although a lot of places in Hilton Head really are kind of close to the beach. So that's another reason for the, like, cost of the house. You know, just not getting as much for your money, just because the value of the real estate is higher down there.
Most of the houses that we're looking at today and most of the houses down there, for the most part, were built in the 80s. And I think all the houses that we have on our list for today were built in the 80s, possibly early 90s, I don't know.
I think they're all in the 80s.
I think they're all in the 80s.
Yeah, I think one of them is actually the late 70s.
Yeah, so...
However, several of them have been remodeled. Some almost completely remodeled. So we'll see what it looks like. But, yeah, so that's our big news. And we'll kind of show you what we see today, what we're thinking. I think Sophie's kind of oblivious. I'm not sure if she really gets what we're thinking about or whatever.
Just to let y'all know, y'all will only be seeing this if it really happens. So if you're watching this video, then it means that we are moving to Hilton Head.
It means that we're moving forward and we have put our house on the market. That's right. So we're sort of in a information gathering phase today, right? Just trying to, so I guess our plan is to move to Hilton Head, but we're trying to...
We're still praying about it too.
Yeah, and we're just trying to make sure that that's definitely
right
where we need to be, where the Lord wants us to be, and all that kind of stuff. And it's hard sometimes to work your way through knowing exactly what you're supposed to do and stuff like that. So
it's a big deal too, just in that we have lived where we've lived our entire marriage.
Yeah.
For my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, even though we've switched houses 3 times, I guess, during the almost 20 years, all the houses have been within, what, 6 miles of one another?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, easily. It's so cold.
You know, it's a big deal leaving an area that you spent your entire...
adult life in.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh my child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. All your life you've tried to be a good man inside. Did everything that you thought you should. Didn't seem to do you any good.
Alright, so we just finished looking at 5 houses in different areas of Hilton Head, and so far not going too great. So most of the houses we have knocked off of our list. We've got one house that we think might work, but it also needs a good bit of work, and it's kind of a fixer-upper, except that the person that owns it has done some work, and no one's living there right now. So we're considering that one. We're gonna look at one more after lunch. So right now we're going to Panera to get some lunch.
Well, there was one house is that Dad and I liked that didn't have a pool, but we weren't sure if the living room was big enough.
Yeah, it was a strange configuration. Like, they had completely gutted the house and completely redone it. It was redone like really super nice, but they put things kind of in the wrong place, and by doing that they took away all the living space to the point where you probably couldn't really even put couches in there. So it was really odd, and we're just not really sure how to make it work, although the house was beautiful except for that one strange thing about it. So it's been an interesting morning. So right now we are headed to go get some lunch and kind of talk to the realtor, kind of see what our options are and stuff like that.
They were in high school when they met, and things got kinda awkward. With sparks in the air, he would stare at her in class, and she would try to act cool. But it was obvious, like, ooh, they would be together, ooh. One day she said, write me a love song, 'cause I know you'll make it beautiful. And maybe I'll call you my sweetheart, and promise nobody can steal me away. Then I am yours, 'cause I want you, and I wanted you to know. He looked at her and then he smiled, picked up a pen and paper, started writing. Probably something about her eyes and how they're always shining, or something cliche like ooh. Baby, I only want you. It's true. And then he said, I wrote you a love song, and I tried to make it beautiful. It's a song about your sweet, sweetheart, and how nobody can steal me away. Yeah, I am yours, 'cause I want you, and I wanted you to know. As he sang, she started to dance, grabbed his arm and took his hand.